Execute Order 66.
You know, I did not want to do this. I tried so hard to not talk about this. So hard, man, but Mr. Pascal, you make it so hard, man. I see you say these things all the time, and I just can't keep avoiding it. I'm sorry, bro, but as the old school Berlizzi would say, I can't let you slide on this, bro. I can't. What's going on, man? Mouse Fortress here, and today we have Mr. Pascal. Let me full screen this. Mr. Pascal has some comments about race swapping in these movies. This article here by MovieWeb. Shout out you guys. Pedro Pascal condemns butthurt, filmgoers who complain about race swapping. So apparently our complaints don't matter, guys. Our complaints about race swapping is about all this stuff just doesn't matter. What we say is invalid, apparently, to Mr. Pascal here, okay? So let's dive into this article, see what his take is on the whole race swapping thing. You know my take on it. I think it's very lazy. I literally just did a video about April O'Neil, and it's funny how this pops up. It's funny how things work. Yes, as far as race swapping goes, I think it's very lazy. I think it's just a way to force, inclusion on people, representation. So let's talk about this and then we'll go from there. All right. The Last of Us star Pedro Pascal is weighing in on the controversial subject of race swapping, gender swapping, and other methods of improving diversity in casting. On social media, we can pretty much expect to see some complaints anytime a character previously portrayed as white is changed to another ethnicity in a new movie or a television series. Now listen, okay? It's not just white people. Even if a character is just let's say Asian or Hispanic, I've seen them get race swapped. I've seen it. It happens. I've seen it before. Okay. So don't just make this some white black thing, because it's not. This comes down to just accuracy. That's all this comes down to, is accuracy. We all just want accuracy. Is that so hard to ask for? Is that such a crime to ask for, is accuracy? I guess so. We saw quite a bit of this recently with the release of The Little Mermaid, yes, which introduces Haley, whatever her name is, Halle Berry, as a black incarnation of Ariel. That led to those unhappy with the casting to express their disapproval on social media using the hashtag #NotMyAriel, even months before the movie was even released. Yeah, as far as Little Mermaid goes, for the most part, I don't really care. But again, it's a race swap. A lot of people didn't like that, and they just keep doing it. Man. They don't care. Who didn't want to see their classic Ariel on a big screen? She's white, so what? But who didn't want to see her on a big screen? You know what I'm saying? So let's go down here and see what he actually said, because this is what's gonna trigger me probably. I'm gonna get triggered, but it's all right. That's why I'm here, man. Pascal, who's also known for his popular role in the Star Wars series The Mandalorian, addressed the topic in a new interview with Variety. He was asked about being seen as an actor rather than as Pedro Pascal, the Latino guy that we have for Latino roles. Yikes. It's funny because I was just telling one of my friends on here that I think Pascal is typecast. He's casted in everything now. It's kind of annoying, but in my opinion, he's pretty much typecast. And had him commenting on how important it is to improve representation in all movies and TV shows. The actor believes that the focus should be on just casting a person into a role, as opposed to limiting a character to his racial identity. Limiting. That's a crazy word to use here. Limiting. Suggesting all fictional characters should be fair game when it comes to race or gender. So here's the quote he says here. He says, "I think that the change is really important, and that the best way to continue representation is just casting a person into a role that isn't limiting a character to racial identity, especially if it's an IP that we're familiar with or a book. And people get so butthurt about this kind of stuff, but who cares? Because that is the coolest way of moving the needle, is being open about the casting in every way." Now listen, he's right, okay? when it comes down to casting a character for a movie, especially if that character already exists in comics or a book, it should be the best decision, right? It should be the best person for the job. But at the same time, characters have their own pre-established lore, especially in comics. Let's say when a character like Captain America, Steve Rogers, right? When he is 99.9% a white male for the majority of his run, or all his runs in the Marvel comics, it only makes sense to cast him in live action as a white man, right? I mean, wouldn't that make sense? If you were making a TV show about a certain character that was already pre-established, would you cast that character according to his comic book counterpart? Meaning, would he be accurate in terms of personality and the way he looks? Comment down below right now and let me know, okay? Because what I would do is that I would cast a character based on everything: personality, character traits, and how they look. If Clark Kent from DC Comics is a white man, why would I not cast a white man to play him? And let me ask you this, Pascal. What is, let's say, a black Clark Kent? What does a black Clark Kent do for his character besides just looking different? Besides just being represented? Because is that all that matters to you, bro? Is representation? Is that all that matters? When I see a character, I want it to be completely accurate. I'm not screaming for representation. As a black man, I'm saying this as a black man, okay? I'm black. I'm not out here crying for acceptance and representation in these films. I don't want a black Clark Kent. I don't want a black Bruce Wayne. I don't want a black Steve Rogers. I want these characters that I love to look exactly how I see them in these comics, in these games, these shows. That's how I want it. So for you to say that we're butthurt about it, in my opinion, it's just very silly. It's very one-sided. It's very one-sided. I don't think you really see our reasoning for wanting these characters to be accurate, you know? So let's keep on reading. He says a lot more down here, I'm pretty sure. So let's power through this though, because I want to be here all night, man. I could go on about this for hours, man, but I don't plan on it. He says, instead of being like, these are the instructions, this is how we need to follow it, let's label what representation is and follow those. Pascal says, no, I think that we need to continue discovering it and making sure that we understand that representation is in service of telling the story instead of fulfilling a political frustration, which is totally legit also. So is he saying here that the fans that are butthurt about the race swaps are political? I don't understand what you're trying to say here, man. I really don't get this. As far as the part where he says that it should just be about representation, why does that matter? Again, why does that matter, bro? Why does that matter? You act as if there's just no kind of representation in entertainment at all. People of my color, you know, Latino people, like, that's what you're making it seem like. And that's just not the truth. Let's be honest here. Do you know how many minority characters there are, especially in comics, that just aren't utilized in live action? A lot of them, and it's a big issue that we haven't seemed to figure out yet. I don't know why. When it's so simple, just cast them, just do movies about them, but they just won't do it. Yeah, you're acting like it's just so impossible to have representation for people of minority status, and that's just kind of weird to me. It's weird, bro. Maybe he isn't aware of these characters' existence, but yeah, there's a lot that just won't be told. It's a lot more original to cast a character playing a role that hasn't been seen yet, instead of race swapping a pre-established character. Like, would you rather see a Static Shock movie because he hasn't had anything in live action, or would you rather see a race swap Bruce Wayne or Superman? Answer right now. Tell me right now, okay? So as far as that goes, that's pretty much all he said. I'm done with this. My final thoughts on this, he doesn't think how we do, so I can't really blame the guy for thinking this way, because he only sees it from his point of view, clearly. But at the same time, it's a little just, you know, it's a little unfair, in my opinion, to call us butthurt. You're calling your viewers, your fans, butthurt for having an issue with race swapping. Maybe actually try and understand why we feel this way. You know, maybe try and understand that, and then I'd love to hear his opinion on it, because as of right now, it's a very skewed opinion. It's very just one way, okay? And I'm not cool with that. So, but anyway, that's it from me, man. Like, subscribe, comment down below right now your thoughts on this. Is he right about this? Is it a bad thing? Should we just stop doing it? Let me know. Also, tonight, 6 o'clock, Wayfinder podcast. Be there, okay? Be there or be square. Gonna be fun, friends, fans can join. You're watching, you can join in. So join in, please. It'll be fun, man. It'll be fun. But yeah, that's it for me though. I am out. Peace.